My name is Tamsin. Originally from Northamptonshire, I came up to Sheffield in 2015 to do hospitality business management at Sheffield University. And I just decided I loved the city from day one and I never left. I think the cafe culture, definitely. I think back home, it's, very rural area. We don't have so many cafes and this sort of hipster culture, and I was just in love with it. I think just the fact that it's so green, and then, being from a town, it's like, a small town girl goes to the city, so it was my dream. So the concept is getting customers in touch with restaurant quality food. Certainly what I saw with COVID-19 going on was that, there's major shortages in supermarkets, but there was definitely food there. It was just a means of getting that food to the customers. So it took me a few months, but I, started getting in touch with suppliers. I knew that they would be going out of business or have a major shortfall in business. So I was just passionate about connecting that food that I love working with to people that may not normally come in contact with it, if you know what I mean. I think, for a long time I've been really concerned that people are so disengaged with the food that they eat. And, more often than not, people are going to places, I'm not going to name names, but they go and they want bargain food. And they don't realise the cost of bargain food means that people are the concept of modern day slavery, that when you get food that's cheap, there is a bottom line and somebody is, not really benefiting from that sale of the food. And I think that I became more and more obsessed with understanding, why is it okay to throw this food away? Why isn't it going back into the community? Why aren't we connecting people more and more with, real food that comes from real farmers that live in their local area? So I just made it my mission to sort of source where I could and get in touch with suppliers, local makers and producers, and connect people with that food. I knew I wanted to have my own business since I was about 16, 17 years old. And I literally started with going to my local library and finding books like How to Start Your Own Business and How to Start a Business for Dummies kind of thing, and through my research I realised that I needed to have a skill, and I'd been cooking since I was about 7 years old. So it was a case of capitalising on something that I already was doing. So it led me to do it. I have dipped in and out of the industry. I worked in finance quite recently, but I got brought back into the industry because I realised the only thing I could, that I was passionate about speaking about was food. You can't shut me up about food. So I know a lot of chefs, and in what I was doing, obviously I started talking to other chefs about what I was doing, and they started saying to me, oh, why don't you reach out to this supplier? Oh, we use this supplier at this place. So I had previous relationships with suppliers because I've been a kitchen manager. I'm currently a sous chef in what I'm doing now. So it was just a case of picking up the phone to a few people I already knew and then finding new ones along the way. It's been really hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's so isolating, and already as a chef it can be a very isolating job. But the one thing that you get in a workplace is you've got the buzz of people, and you're constantly around, the waiting staff, the managers, and when you lose all of that, and I live by myself, and you're by yourself, and you're just like, oh my God, what do I do with my time? Yeah, it's been difficult, but that's been my main driver for starting a business, because I can't sit still, and there's something that within me can't accept that, oh, this is it, I don't have a job anymore. I've just got to sit here and wait until someone tells me that I do. So yeah, it's fantastic. I think one of the greatest challenges in my business has been when you're doing it online. I don't drive, so all of what I do is like very logistical. It's me behind a computer finding people that will help me. So my interactions with my guests, I built a chatbot into my website because I was thinking, how do I talk to my customers? And I really wanted to be like, if I owned a shop and I was physically there, I want to have that relationship. And I've developed that relationship when people actually follow my social media. And again, I can't name names, but I can think of customers where I follow them back, and I like liking their posts and seeing what they're getting up to. And I have developed a relationship with my customers.
That's great. That's fantastic.
It's amazing, yeah. I think it's because I've always worked with food, and when you're a chef, you don't always get to see people's faces when when your food goes out to them. So it's really good to get that direct feedback. Also, having done things with food waste in the past, again, it's that knowing that you're doing something that affects someone's life, that they might be isolated as well. And it's one isolated person to another isolated person, and helping them at a time when, people are queuing at supermarkets to get in and can't get what they want. So it's a great feeling. The bottom line is that if we don't, that the local economy around us is going to crumble. It is as simple as that, and I do take issue with big supermarkets, because I won't say that they don't care, but there's some that really don't, and they don't care that the community is going to collapse, that there's plenty of artisan producers around here who have families, their businesses are going down. I mean, it's upsetting for me to see when these businesses shut down, and I've seen a lot of them, and these are places that I patronise on a regular basis. So it's important, because if we don't, as a collective, start to support one another and sort of pour, our collective resources into each other's pockets, then all it's doing is feeding these bigger companies, and it's not going to back into our community. It's just sitting there and making the big fat cats fatter. Just keep supporting one another. At the end of the day, I could sit here and say, come buy from my business, but that's not what I'm here for. It's look after your own, look around you, do whatever you can to support people, be charitable, and most importantly, just keep safe.